Hello and welcome to Scientific Supplement Reviews. In today's video, I will review vitamin C, a supplement that is often touted as a defense against respiratory tract infections and is taken with the aim of preventing or treating the common cold. Vitamin C first came to the attention of the scientific community in the early parts of the last century, when it was discovered as the substance whose deficiency caused scurvy. One feature of scurvy is in fact an increased susceptibility to respiratory tract infections, including pneumonia. And so there exists a clear link already between vitamin C deficiency and infections of the throat and lungs. Now, of course, the modern Western diet contains enough vitamin C to prevent the occurrence of scurvy and the concomitant risk of viral infections. So the question really becomes, does supplementing additional vitamin C, so above the levels we already get in our normal diet, provide additional protection against the common cold? Let's see what the science says. Let's start with some background and look first at the role of vitamin C in the human body. Vitamin C is chemically known as ascorbic acid and fulfills a multitude of functions in the human body. In its role as a so-called coenzyme, it participates in processes as diverse as the synthesis of collagen, as well as the production of dopamine, to name just two. The human body is not able to make its own vitamin C, and so this molecule constitutes an essential nutrient that has to be obtained through one's diet. Interestingly, many other mammals, including some that are closely related to humans in evolutionary terms, are able to synthesize the vitamin and do not require any vitamin C intake through their diet. Now let's talk about vitamin C as a dietary supplement and any evidence that it may help prevent or treat the common cold. The scientific literature has considered three aspects of the common cold in relation to vitamin C, and we will look at these in turn. Firstly, scientists have investigated the potential of vitamin C supplementation to prevent us from catching the cold. Secondly, there are studies investigating the ability of this vitamin to treat the cold. In other words, to reduce the length of the illness in individuals that have become ill with the cold. And finally, there is a recent study that aimed to assess the ability of vitamin C to reduce the severity of the cold. In other words, whether taking vitamin C would lessen the symptoms of a cold. One of the most authoritative sources on matters concerning health guidelines are the so-called Cochrane reviews, which pull together all relevant studies on a specific drug or supplement and calculate the overall effect from that pool of studies in a so-called meta-analysis. In this most recent Cochrane review of vitamin C from 2013, the authors bring together all placebo-controlled trials with vitamin C, a total of 63 studies, and firstly set out to ascertain whether there is any evidence that the supplement helps prevent the occurrence of a cold. And here are their findings. On the left is a list of all studies that have investigated the ability of vitamin C supplementation to help prevent the common cold. And on the right is a so-called forest plot, which should be interpreted in the following way. Any small blue squares that fall to the left of the vertical black line indicate a study that found vitamin C supplementation to prevent the cold. But when the black horizontal lines, which represent the margin of error of the study, cross the vertical line, that result is not statistically significant. The black diamond at the bottom represents the average of all studies. In this case, we find an overall effect p-value that is greater than 0.05, meaning that vitamin C does not, with any statistical significance, help protect a person from catching the cold. However, there is an interesting twist to this story, because whilst there is no benefit for cold prevention in the general population, when the study's authors limited the meta-analysis to only those studies where the participants were subjected to intense physical exercise, then under those specific conditions, vitamin C is found to have a clear protective effect against developing respiratory tract symptoms. So, to summarize, vitamin C supplementation does not, in general, prevent the common cold. The exception are those people who are subject to intense physical exercise. Next, let's look at whether vitamin C supplementation can help with the treatment of a cold. To see if vitamin C supplementation would result in reduced duration of the cold in individuals who have caught it, the authors of this meta-analysis split the relevant vitamin C studies into two subgroups, those that looked at adults and those that looked at children. In both cases, the black diamond, representing the combined result of all studies, falls squarely to the left of the vertical black line, meaning that the vitamin C supplementation is effective in treating the common cold. What does this effect translate to in terms of time scales? Well, for adults, it means that with vitamin C supplementation, the duration of a cold is reduced on average by 7.7%, and in children, it is reduced by 14.2%. This means that if we assume a cold to last for 10 days, then in adults, vitamin C supplementation would shave off about 18.5 hours of the duration of a cold, and in children 34 hours. We can thus conclude that vitamin C does have some effectiveness when it comes to treating the common cold. This leaves us with the final question, which is whether vitamin C supplementation has any effect on the severity of a cold. This question was investigated in this very recent meta-analysis, with encouraging results. The authors divided the relevant studies into various measures of cold severity, including number of days off work or school, and symptoms scored on a previously established severity scale. By all these measures, vitamin C supplementation resulted in a statistically significant reduction in cold severity, with very small p-values. So this means that for our final category of cold severity, we can conclude that vitamin C supplementation is effective in reducing the symptoms of a cold.
No, you can't come out yet. There's still humans in the building, I told you. So to summarize, is vitamin C supplementation worth it? Well, it seems that for most people, daily supplementation is not necessary, provided they eat a balanced, vitamin-rich diet, since additional vitamin C does not help prevent the cold. The notable exception being those times where one is undergoing intense physical exercise, such as running a marathon, for example. Additionally, the scientific literature suggests that when someone already suffers from the symptoms of a cold, additional vitamin C could have a moderate but real alleviating effect on the severity and duration of the cold. So on that basis, when it comes to our traffic light classification system of supplement efficacy, I award vitamin C a green light. This one is backed by science.
So, there you have it. I hope you have enjoyed this scientific supplement review of vitamin C, and I hope it will help you make an informed choice when deciding as to whether you want to purchase and use vitamin C supplements in the future. Note that you can now follow scientific supplement reviews on Blue Sky, where you will receive exclusive announcements of future supplement review videos. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments of any other supplements you would like me to review.